Hello everybody, I don't know why I was so close to the camera. Welcome back to the Bad Bookers Wrestling Podcast. I've already recorded this once and it messed up, so I'm going to run through this really quick. I know it's late, I know I forgot about it, but it's here now, so stop crying. I said I was going to do it. Stop it. First off, to kick off the show, can I say SmackDown Live has smashed it out the park these past 2 weeks. Been very, very good. 2 weeks in a row, it's probably been the best SmackDown Live since the brand split, in my opinion. And it reaffirmed that straight away with a Randy Orton heel promo. It was like having old school Randy Orton back. It was just like how he was in Legacy. Even Legend Killer, he mentioned Legend Killer 3 times. And it was just so nice to see. Heel Randy Orton, he's back. He says next week or whenever he finds him, he's going to end Jeff Hardy's career, and he's spent 16 years in the business. He hasn't had to fight in bingo halls. He's done all his dues in front of millions of people, and he's basically not an indie darling. He's the face of the company, pretty much, is what he was saying. Just a fantastic promo, and I'm very happy to see heel Randy Orton back, and I'm just wondering whether this is going to be a title push for him. I don't know if it would be a WWE title push, but we'll have to wait and see. Next up, we had a match between Rusev versus Cien Almas, and which Almas won cheaply, but he won. They were brawling in the ring. Both men were on their backs, and then both managers, because Rusev came out of Lana but not Aiden English this week, obviously carrying on with their storyline, and Selena Vega and Lana had a bit of an argument. Selena Vega slaps Lana, and then they had a bit of a cat fight, which, with everything that's happened recently with the women's pay-per-view and whatnot, it just seems a little bit out of place, but I'm not going to delve too much into it. Aiden English came out to try and save Lana, which ended up with Selena Vega jumping on Aiden's back, bumping into Lana. Rusev got distracted. Almas hit him with the hammerlock DDT while Rusev wasn't concentrating, and picked up the win, which I think Almas needed it more than Rusev. And Rusev's probably going to face Aiden at SummerSlam, which it's a bit sad considering he just fought for the WWE title, but it's been a long time coming. I think they've had to split these two up for a little bit, and hopefully Rusev Day can continue and prosper. Next up, we had a pretty squash match, pretty much. Samoa Joe versus R-Truth, who we haven't seen since WrestleMania, or he hasn't wrestled a match since WrestleMania anyway. When he was in the Andre the Giant Battle Royale. First match back, Samoa Joe, brilliant. He's clearly not got many mates, R-Truth. He got a little bit of offense in at the start, but then Joe slaps him around. Coquina clutch, tapped out pretty quick. It was about a couple of minutes. I think the match, standard squash match, it's what Joe should be doing to people like R-Truth, which is the same for the next match, Asuka versus Billie Kay, another squash match. Asuka just dominated Billie Kay and beat her very quick. This is what wrestlers like Samoa Joe and Asuka should be doing. They should be dominating people, they should be squashing people, they should be winning, basically, which we all know Asuka hasn't been doing too much of recently. But we'll have to see what happens with her. I've not got much hope for her at the moment, especially after losing to Carmella twice, but there you go. Next up, we found out who AJ Styles' SummerSlam opponent for the WWE title would be. Paige was out there for a contract signing with AJ, and Paige said, "Look, come on down," pretty much. James Ellsworth's music hits and said, "The only reason why I came back was for that title, and you're scared of me, AJ, because you know I've beaten you 3 times. Blah, blah, blah." Paige said he was a joke. Ellsworth said Paige was a joke. Paige fired him, essentially. James Ellsworth is fired from the company. I don't know if that's because his contract ran out or they just don't need him anymore. or even if he was on a contract or what. But yeah, he's gone. I don't know if he'll return for SummerSlam or what. I hope not, because I'm not interested in him. He was fun the first time, but he just outstayed his welcome, I think, in my opinion. Security took him backstage. Paige followed, and they kicked him out of the back door. And then the camera pans back into the ring, and who was there? Who was there? Samoa Joe, Coquina Clutch, locked in on AJ Styles, signs the contract at SummerSlam. We are going to see AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe for the WWE title. I don't think these two have wrestled since Impact TNA, but every time they met in TNA, they tore the house down, which they should, because they're both fantastic wrestlers, and I can't wait. It's not going to be main event, obviously, because we all know what's going to be main event. If they had any common sense about them in the back, they would put the Universal title on before this one, so this was the main event, because if the Universal title's main event, everyone's just going to leave beforehand, because they don't need to see it. So it's a van going past, so I do apologise. So they don't need to see it, so if they had any common sense, they'd put this as main event with the Universal title just before. But they're not going to, are they? Oh well, I'm not talking about Raw, I'm talking about SmackDown. Next up we had Becky Lynch versus Carmella. If Becky won, she was going to face Carmella for the title at SummerSlam, and that is what she did. She submitted Carmella with a disarmer, and it was a decent match, to be fair. Carmella looked sloppy in places, but decent match. Becky's just over with the crowd, and she's just fantastic. And if it's not Becky that's taking the title off Carmella, then who is it? There isn't anyone else that can. Carmella's beaten Charlotte, she's beaten Asuka. If she beats Becky, who else is there? Naomi? Tamina? One of the Iconics? Sonya Deville? Mandy Rose? It's not going to be any of them, is it? So, if it's not Becky, who is it? Next up, we had the main event match of the evening. It wasn't the main event in a sense, but it was the last match on the card. New Day versus Sanity in this tag team tournament to face the Bludgeon Brothers at SummerSlam. Sanity lost, New Day won, which I just don't know what they're doing with Sanity. They're the type of teams who should be squashing people, should be frightening people, and they're just not. I think their win-loss record is probably around the same amount of wins to losses. And it's just really annoying to see. Next week we're going to see the Bar versus the Usos, and I'm hoping the Bar win, and I'm hoping the Bar win against the New Day, because we've seen Usos, we've seen New Day. I don't think we've seen the Bar versus the Bludgeon Brothers, so something different. I don't think they would win. I think the only team that would win if they were to face Bludgeon Brothers at SummerSlam would be the New Day. I don't think the Usos, I don't think the Bar would beat the Bludgeon Brothers, in my opinion. Even though the Bludgeon Brothers' reign hasn't been that good, in my opinion, unfortunately. But yeah, New Day won, and they find out who they're facing next week when the Usos face off against the Bar in the other semi-final. The main event then, we had Miz and Miz's premiere night, premiere event, celebration, whatever it was, for the Miz and Maurice. Maurice was back. They brought Monroe Sky in, and they're out in the ring. They were promoting their new reality TV show, Miz and Mrs., which I haven't watched because I was watching 205 Live instead of that, because I'm a wrestling fan. But they played a trailer of what was going to be seen in the series, and the trailer popped up, and it was all of Miz's mistakes since he's been in WWE. Like, he got stunned, he's been rock bottomed, he forgot the number for, I don't think I was watching the wrestling when this happened, but he forgot a number of some hotline kind of thing live on the stage, and it was just all of his mistakes. And it panned back to the Miz when it finished, and he was looking angry in the ring, absolutely livid. Camera cut backstage to Daniel Bryan and said, "Oh, I'm really sorry. That wasn't what was meant to play. Oh no." Then he went, "Oh, I don't know why I'm saying sorry back here. I might as well come out and say sorry in person." So Daniel Bryan came out, and there was a couple of security guards. He beat them up, threw them aside, and jumped in the ring to confront the Miz, who had Monroe Sky and those baby carriers at the front. Miz had them on. Turn around. Maurice was saying, "Jog on," basically, and then the Miz threw Monroe Sky at Daniel Bryan, and everyone was like, "What the fuck?" Miz, big boot to the face, skull crushing finale. It wasn't Monroe Sky. It was a little doll, a little baby doll kind of thing. And Daniel Bryan said, "I knew this was going to happen. I knew you'd try and steal my spotlight. I'm not stupid, Daniel. This match is going to happen at SummerSlam. The video package is going to be awesome. The match is going to be awesome. I cannot wait." The Miz versus Daniel Bryan has been building for years and years. We all know the background. We all know what happened on Talking Smack. I cannot wait for it. It is going to be great. The video package, they've got so much footage of these two, and I hope they use it all, because it's just been brilliant. From even when The Miz had Daniel Bryan as his NXT rookie at the time. When was that? 2012? Before then? Like, they've had years of building this feud. And it's finally, I thought they might wait until SummerSlam, wait until Mania, but I'm really happy it's happening now. And yeah, cannot wait for it. But yeah, that was SmackDown Live. 205 saw Jack Gallagher lose to Tozawa, and next week we're going to have Tozawa versus Lio Rush again. We had the Lucha House Party beat some jobbers, and we had Drew Gulak winning the Fatal 4-Way in a very, very good main event. It seems like every week, or when I do these, I always say 205 Live, main event, great, in the same sentence. Because every week it is just fantastic, the main event. It was a Fatal 4-Way match between Drew Gulak, Mustafa Ali, TJP, and Hideo Itami. And Drew Gulak won, and he will face Cedric for the Cruiserweight title. I don't know whether it's going to be at SummerSlam or in the next couple of weeks on 205 Live. We'll have to wait and see, but I can't wait for that. I've always loved Drew Gulak. He's my boy, my man. And yeah, fantastic main event. But yeah, that's been my review of SmackDown Live and a little bit of 205 there. My name's been Jack. There's another car here, so I'll do this quick. Please like, please subscribe. Any questions, leave them down below in the comments, or tweet us at BadBookersWP. And I shall see you again tomorrow for NXT, which I've managed to miss all the spoilers of. So hopefully I'm pleasantly surprised for NXT tonight. Well, it's tonight, isn't it? But yeah, thank you and goodbye.